Hello everyone. This is a speedrun of Resident Evil 2. The scenario is Leon B, and it is played on a PlayStation Portable. It is the PS1 version of the game, downloaded from PlayStation Classics on Sony's PlayStation Network store. The final time is 1 hour, 9 minutes, and 50 seconds. The zombies here, generally don't have to worry about them too much, just run as straight a line as possible. This room coming up here is a room where the Japanese version is different from the American version. I could dodge that zombie on the inside line, but because Leon has a pretty big hitbox, it's not really worth it to do so with Leon. The crow's there as long as you hug the outside wall. The one crow that you do collide with is going to fly the other direction, pretty much always. So that's the section of the proverbial wall of crow, as it were. Passing through to go use the valve handle, it gives way in the center of the pile of crows. In general, trying not to get hung up on crows will save you a lot of time very early on. The first encounter with Mr. X requires a pretty precise dodge, but the setup is easy. Whenever you regain control, hold up and left, and the camera angle will change, and then we're going to bounce off the wall and then curve hard right. He punches, and he misses. To get around these lickers, we're going to hug the interior wall. It's a little RNG whether the licker in the back is going to jump or not. You want him to jump because it'll be easier. We're not going to worry about that licker there for now. Just run right by him. Fortunately, on the return trip, if you take the same line every time, then the lickers will not be able to catch up with you. Not unless something goes horribly wrong. It doesn't really matter too much whether you have the rocket launcher in the item box or not. I just mash X and L1 repeatedly until all of the items, except for the card key, are out of my inventory. But you want to clear out your inventory as much as possible. I ran the handgun route a bunch, but eventually I decided that the shotgun route was going to be the best in my case because, well, I'm a little on the impatient side. As far as completing runs in this game, because there is an especially brutal dodge coming up that I just used the shotgun for instead. Because we're playing Leon B, we have to go through the library first. If you're using the shotgun route, then you want to put the cable in the west hallway. That's like the liquor hallway. Whenever you're doing your setup playthrough for B scenario.
Hey, wait!
Because then the zombies will appear on the west side of the RPD. A lot of zombies appear on the side of the RPD that you put the cable in the first scenario.
Leon!
Claire, you made it.
Yeah. Have you seen a little girl around here?
Yeah, you just missed her. Who is she?
I don't know. But it's too dangerous for her to stay here alone. Leon, I'll go look for her. You go and find us a way out of here.
Of course. But before I forget, here's a radio. That way we can keep in touch if something comes up.
This dodge up here relies on the zombie on the ground. If it's not for the zombie on the ground, then it would actually be quite easy otherwise, but instead I expend 2 shotgun shells here to get around the first 2 zombies. The last 3 zombies are really easy, because as long as you're far enough away, then the first zombie in the cluster in the back actually won't start moving, so you have plenty of time to shoot the zombie on the ground as well. Upon coming down the stairs here, we're going to aim down, basically just buffer inputs by holding R1 down and X. Sorry, R1 down and square, this is the Japanese version. And we're going to kneecap those zombies. Generally, kneecapping is going to be the better option with the shotgun. If you know that there is going to be a path that you can run where you will not get grabbed in the leg later. Way back, we gotta be mindful of this guy. Because we kneecapped only 2 of the zombies coming down the stairs, we now have to do a neutral turn in place in order to get around this last one. We only have to deal with zombies, extra zombies in 2 of the adjacent rooms instead of 3, fortunately. Also, you're supposed to leave Marvin alive in the A scenario so that he appears in the B scenario. You can see that there's a dead body on the floor. if you kill Marvin, then a zombie will be alive in the doorway. Because there wasn't a cutscene where zombies came through the windows in here, there are no zombies. Fine by me, because the dodge pattern for the zombies coming back up from the basement is actually pretty annoying. So we can just run straight lines. Most of the time saves that you can expect with the shotgun route in Leon B are just from simply not taking damage. It doesn't really lose too much time to use the shotgun.
Sorry about that. When I saw the uniform, I thought.
But the number of runs that you will actually complete with the shotgun route
Who are you?
are going to be significantly higher.
Ada Wong.
And what are you doing here?
I'm looking for some guy named Ben. He's one of those reporter types, always looking for a scoop. I heard he was locked up in the cell block, only there's a wrecked car barring the entrance. I've been trying to find another way inside. If we work together, we can move this thing. Give me a hand here, will you?
This whole section is mostly cutscenes here.
Ada, wait!
I apologize for the lower than usual quality, by the way. When I went to record this, all I had left was a 240p video because somehow my recording program messed up, and instead of recording in 900p, we wound up recording in 240p instead.
Let me guess. You must be Ben, right? Get up, now!
What do you want? I'm trying to sleep here.
Is this the guy?
Ben? You told the city officials that you knew something about what's been going on, didn't you? What did you tell them?
And who the heck are you?
I'm trying to find my boyfriend. His name's John. He was working for a branch office of Umbrella, based in Chicago, but he suddenly disappeared 6 months ago. I heard a rumor that he's here in the city.
I don't know anything. And even if I did, why would I want to tell you?
Okay, I say we leave him in there. Does anyone know where they put the key to this cell?
I have it right here, officer. But I'm not about to leave this cell. Those zombies aren't the only things crawling around out there.
What was that?
Like I said, I'm not leaving this cell. Get out of here before you lead it right to me.
Hey, I'm not going anywhere. I'm the only cop left alive in this building.
What?
Look, if you want to live, then you're gonna have to leave with me.
But do you even know how to get out of the city? There's a kennel in the back of the building. Inside the kennel is a manhole. Go through and it'll lead you to the sewer entrance, but it won't be easy.
All right, I'm going.
Post-cutscene, dodging the spiders is a little bit different. I haven't really figured out why, but for some reason in B scenario, the spiders seem to be a little bit more aggressive. I also unequip the shotgun here because unequipping the shotgun will cause Leon to run a little bit faster. I left it equipped up to that point because the time loss was minimal compared to opening up the inventory and unequipping it manually, so.
Ada? I don't think I've introduced myself yet. My name's Leon. I'm with the RPD. It's a dead end.
You think we can get upstairs through this shaft? Give me a boost. I'll go and check. How cute. That little girl must have dropped this. I think I'll hold on to it for her.
So instead of dogs, there are zombies. I tap R1 to line myself up to get behind the first zombie, run behind the second, and then make a sharp turn, running parallel to the guardrail to get around the third. Solving this puzzle is just a matter of pushing the first box here 7 times, pushing that one to the right, and then pushing this last one 3 more times. By the way, in case you were wondering, the canon scenario order is Leon A, Claire B, so technically this is the canon playthrough. Coming back through these zombies over here, I do a little bit of a stutter step pre-turn because I actually don't know of a faster way to dodge past that second zombie. So, kind of have to do a little bit of a
Can you hear me?
stutter step and lure him one way
Ada,
before moving around.
Did you find anything?
Right here. Hey, I can't reach the ventilation hole. I'm going to have to find another way around. I'll catch up with you later.
What? Ada, wait!
Leon, come in. I found the girl, and I've cleared the wreckage that was blocking the corridor.
Got it.
So now that we have the club key, clear the rest of the RPD. I'm gonna wait for that spider to turn before moving. I think in certain other versions, depending on the frame rate, I think the frame rate is actually what influences how aggressive certain enemies are. In certain enemy patterns. But, I've speedrun Leon A to death, so I'm not even sure what causes the spider to act differently. let's just say that I've gotten poisoned a lot while recording this run. Something I forgot to mention a little earlier, PSP load times are actually way faster than on PS1 or PS2. PSP is technically an official Sony emulator for the PS1, so it is proprietary software written by Sony to run PS1 games on the PSP. So the recompiler, I believe it is what winds up loading the games really fast. Wait for these zombies to bump their shoulders and then run around them. There is a slightly faster dodge you can do by pre-turning, but it probably takes about the same amount of time to set up, unfortunately. But yeah, the load times are significantly faster as long as you turn on the fast disk speed. This day and age, I realize that the PC version is going to be much faster, but this version has the most stable game timer and the most stable loads, so I choose to play on this version because this way I can focus exclusively on things like dodges and less on how well I can skip doors. So even though we're going to be seeing our good friend Mr. X here, he's really not a problem. I'm just going to grab the cog and leave. Hard right, another hard right, and then he's going to bust out of the wall again. And when he does that, just try to hug the wall, the right wall, as much as possible, but don't let Leon go more than 45 degrees to the right. That's a pretty tight dodge right there, by the way. I ran between those two zombies so that I could just like pre-turn and run behind the third. Blue Hallway B scenario is another really horrible section to lose a run to, just simply because of how late it is in the run. At this point, I still haven't gotten hit yet, so fortunately this guy jumped exactly what I wanted him to do. Thank you, Mr. Liquor. I also have the Magnum equipped here just in case. And that was my just in case. There is another line that you can run in order to get the Liquor to move another direction. But because he was all up in my business near where I needed to put down those 2 jewels, I decided to pop him one. Because I have extra ammo to burn, precisely 1 extra bullet. From the last time I've run Scenario B, pretty significant changes to the route have been made. By the rest of the dudes in the RE2 speedrun community. I believe it may have been Magnuzel and Dara who figured out the new routes for the final bosses and whatnot. So Mr. X here, I just make sure that I have enough health for him. And I try to run so that I'm running directly at him, as opposed to like to the side or something, because if I do that, then Mr. X will just knock me back a little bit. if I run at any other angle, then what Mr. X will do is he'll knock me down, and it'll take me forever to get back up. Significant time loss. But Mr. X punched me with his right hand, which was about 45 damage out of 200. 45 plus 22 plus 22 from each of those liquor swipes. Comes out to just enough HP. Although I think it might have been 12 one of those slashes. I also swapped out the club key for the valve handle as I needed. I generally don't reset over liquor slashes unless I'm in caution and I can't heal. But at this point, if I get grabbed by a zombie that I'm not supposed to get grabbed by in a Resident Evil 2 run, then I'm pretty much at the point where I have to reset in order to be seeing any kind of gains. And by gains, I'm talking about time gains, of course. Now that we've solved this last puzzle here, we can go and fight the boss. I should also mention that at the time of this recording, this actually is the world record for runs of the game on PSP. It is the fastest Leon B time played on the PlayStation Portable.
No! Get away!
Talk about not mentioning your important information at the start of the video. But that's okay. I don't generally make too big of a deal about world records.
Ben! Can you still hear me? Come on, answer!
Damn! I don't believe this. I almost got the story.
Ben.
Bitter irony. The chief of police, a co-conspirator. Get that scum. Make him pay.
Hang in there, Ben.
Leon.
Where are you going, Ada?
To the chemical plant. I have a feeling that's where I'll find John.
Ada, wait! Hey!
Leon, are you still there? We're leaving.
Are you crazy? The streets are still crawling with zombies.
It'll be all right, trust me. We found a way to the sewer. Follow us later.
Claire! Claire! Wait, wait! Man, why doesn't anyone ever listen to me?
It's actually funny to note that the Japanese subtitles at the bottom actually say, "Man, what is it with women and not listening to me?" Sorry, Leon, but you're just such a good friend. I think we should be seeing other people. Oh man, look at that RNG. Sometimes the spider likes to dash around the corner like that. That was actually very kind of him. So, for this fight, all we have to do is just stand here and fire 6 shots. Then on the 6th shot, we're going to run a very precise angle and then do a very sharp turn. And then his final attack will just completely miss. I know what you're thinking, but Carci, there was no death animation. Why couldn't you have just run? And the answer is because the text box would have blocked me in, so.
Ada!
But that was one of the B scenario
What was that all
bosses.
about? Running off like that was reckless and stupid. Those zombies are everywhere. Not to mention that thing that got Ben.
I was there, Leon. I know.
Look, Ada. As an officer, it's my job to look out for you. But we're not going to get through this alive if we don't work together. Okay?
All right. We'll do this your way for now.
So in case you weren't already aware, aside from Mr. X showing up at like several intervals throughout the run, there are also different bosses in B scenario. Birkin's first form was one of them.
Ada! Heads up!
Leon, that woman was... I have to talk to her.
I unequipped the handgun here because it will shorten the length of the Annette cutscene coming up. Because Annette will not shoot a gun out of Ada's hand, and Ada won't have to turn around and pick it back up at the end of the cutscene. So it saves about 3 seconds or so. Because you do have to open and close the menu in order to make that happen.
Don't move. You're the one who was with that cop, if I'm not mistaken. Identify yourself. Ada? Ada Wong. Ada Wong. I've heard that name before. Now I remember. One of the men from Chicago who came to assist the T-virus research used his girlfriend's name as his password. Ada and John, I believe. How did you know? Who are you? Annette Birkin. My husband is the man responsible for the creation of the T-virus, William Birkin. What? John's dead. He became one of those zombies. My condolences. And although I regret this, you will be joining him shortly. I won't let anyone take the G-virus away from me. G-virus? It's capable of creating the ultimate bioweapon. Its potential is even greater than that of the T-virus. Then that must mean the creature in the police department is... precisely my husband, William. And it's all Umbrella's fault. None of this would have happened if they hadn't tried to steal his research away from him. Where did you get that pendant? It looks exactly like the one I gave Sherry. She dropped it. I've been holding on to it for her.
Liar! Give it back to me!
Too bad.
Well, mission accomplished, right, Ada? Time to get the hell out of Dodge. Or, I mean, we could just wait right there.
Ada?
For seemingly no reason at all. But because we killed the alligator in scenario A, what would normally happen is the usual alligator cutscene from Leon A. Killed the alligator in Claire's A scenario. Just not even gonna worry about these spiders. Just head straight for the doors. We're also going to leave the Magnum equipped for the time being because one-handed weapons are going to be better for running speed. We want these shotgun shells for some zombies coming up and also for the Birkin G3 on the elevator later. We fight Birkin G3 on the elevator instead of Birkin G2. Also, this cutscene gives Leon a full heal.
This bullet wound isn't making things any easier.
Quiet, Leon. I'll patch you up.
It does not affect your rank. It's very handy to have this heal in a speedrun, to be honest.
That's 2 I owe you.
Don't mention it.
I just found out. John's dead.
What?
Never mind. Let's just get out of here. The sooner the better.
On the way to the train, we're going to grab the Eagle Medal and the Wolf Medal. Also reloading the shotgun there while I can, because the cursor is just right there. A little bit of extra menu optimization here and there is necessary to be able to run slower routes as such. Because again, the shotgun route kind of slow, but it makes up for it in consistency. Just gonna not worry about these spiders over here. We'll equip the shotgun. and use the eagle medal and the wolf medals. A thing about the inventory in Resident Evil 2, at least for the PC and PlayStation versions, the GameCube version, you can't do it on the GameCube version because it has different frame rate. If you input like a quarter circle or like a Shoryu motion like from Street Fighter, then it actually warps your cursor over to slots 5, 6, 7, and 8. So you can actually do some pretty fast menu cursor movements that way, which is how I was able to put the eagle and wolf medals into the console so fast. It takes just as much time to be able to use the shotgun on this guy as it does with the handgun. Normally you'd use the handgun here. We're about to have 2 shotgun shells left. Because we just expended the clip, I'm just going to do a manual reload before we exit, because it'll be faster than going into the inventory to reload. I go for the decapitation on this guy because this hallway is too small. You can see that that zombie's collision box is still active. So if I shot that zombie in the legs, then it would have basically blocked me from moving any further, and I would have had to stomp on his head. Also, I have no idea what happened there. It's just the zombies just like knocked themselves forward. Must have been some kind of weird cross-up or something. I wanted to decapitate all of them, but
We finally arrived. There must be something hidden here.
I didn't mean for it to turn out that way. Kind of worked out, I suppose. Grabbing the first aid spray there, because we're going to need to use that in the lab. Possibly, because super liquors do a lot of damage. And the dodges are not always consistent, so I take 3 seconds to grab that, just in case I am about to lose the run. Mr. X appears here as well. I want to get hit by the right hand and just get knocked back. Generally, Mr. X's second attack after his right hand punch is going to be a hammer blow. Fortunately, you have full push priority while he's winding up for his hammer blows, so you can just push right around him. I call it push priority, but I think it's more like poise in Dark Souls 1. If you need something to liken it to, but basically it's Leon's ability to push an enemy
Come on.
while
let's
he's
go.
in a certain attack animation, like through just straight movement. And Leon is just able to bully his way right through Mr. X. So I re-equipped the Magnum and reloaded it, as well as the shotgun.
Ada! Ada! Can you hear me? Come on, snap out of it.
The box of Magnum rounds that are normally in that toilet in the American version, I have to pick those up specifically for the final boss. So for Birkin, what we're going to do is we're going to fire off 6 shots over here. And then when he comes to walk towards us, we're just going to run that way, then fire off 2 more shots, then equip the shotgun, then run over this way, 2 more shotgun shells, and he's done. During his extra long death animation, that's exactly enough time for us to get back to the ladder here. We don't need to do any like fancy footwork or anything like that to beat this boss, or even lure him closer to the door, because I think luring him to the door was actually a waste of time, given how long it takes for him to actually die before you can actually leave the room. You have to wait for his death animation to happen.
Hey, take it easy. We're inside Umbrella's secret lab. I'll go find something to treat that wound, so just rest here in the meantime.
But I'll only slow you down with these injuries. Go. Save yourself.
Is it just me, or does everybody always ignore what I say? I told you, it's my job to look after you.
But you'll be in danger if you stay with me. I know I've only known you for a short period of time, but I really enjoy being with you. I know I'm not capable of caring about anyone, but I don't want to lose you.
We're leaving this place together. Wait here for me. I'll be right back.
We're gonna wind up running around with a shotgun for a little while longer. That's another nice thing about the PSP, is that you can skip FMVs pretty much instantaneously. Another reason why I like to run the game on PSP is also because the way the game renders graphics actually enables me to come up with an easy setup for the box puzzle in this room, which I will explain whenever we actually get around to doing it. But before that, I'm gonna get to the area of the game, the most decisive area of the speedrun. For consistency's sake, I just go ahead and take the hit there. I'm just gonna take like 1-2 more hits along the way. This means that I'm pretty much going to have to use a first aid spray during the liquor passage in the B4 floor. Floor B4, excuse me. I also want to keep the shotgun equipped here because there's a very small time saver glitch that you can do during the cutscene coming up here. If you have the shotgun equipped, then you can just flick the button, and if you buffer it with the R1 button, then Leon will be in his aiming animation, and instead of the button hitting the button and teleporting into the center of the elevator, you stay closer to the door, so Leon just tweens his way towards the door. I just kind of muscle my way past that first zombie and kneecap the second zombie, because pretty much every RNG permutation guarantees that I'll have initiative, and that zombie will pretty much never attack before I can kneecap him. He will always fall in pretty much the same line, which means that I can just hold up after I kneecap him and then run straight to the door. But I want to kneecap that zombie, because if I do, then it'll actually set me up for an easier dodge going back. You could also do that dodge, or you could also do that, kill that particular zombie with the Magnum if you run the Magnum route. I don't need to pick up that first aid spray. If I actually do need another first aid spray, then there's going to be one available in the P4 lab on floor B4. Run 5 steps, hold up and left, and then mash to open the door, because Leon is just barely facing that switch at just the correct angle to be able to press it. And then when the cutscene is over, we can just hold up and left. It basically just sets us up at an angle where we have to be stopped as little as possible. We're gonna run on the outside wall and then do a slow walk on the inside corner there, and that'll usually prompt that second licker to jump. Unfortunately, his buddy behind him didn't jump either, so... I mean, the first one jumped, but his buddy behind him did not jump. So, we got slashed, we got taken into caution, and we had to go ahead and use the first aid spray. Unless something goes horribly wrong, because we're at 200 health, we should not have to worry about using any more healing items. But I grabbed the other first aid spray here, just in case something goes horribly wrong during the Super Tyrant fight. It actually would have been faster for me to just not pick that up at all, because I wound up not needing it. I could have saved about another 5 seconds or so. But I was already on a roll. I didn't feel like losing all of my progress up to that point. Well, why don't you save, Carcy? Savings for losers. Get on my level, nerds. Got 'em. I'm actually not even sure if the correct running pattern to manipulate these lickers into doing whatever you want them to do on the way back. As long as we run a wide line around that plant monster there, we shouldn't have to worry about getting hit by him. So the next dodge coming back, we're gonna do 1, 2, hard left on the third step. That sets us up in exactly the right angle so that we can just squeeze in between the wall and that zombie there. Because we have the Magnum equipped here, we can actually... That was beautiful. I had the Magnum equipped there, so I was actually able to reload the Magnum during that cutscene and also get the glitch.
You murdered my husband. I know what you're looking for. You came for the G-Virus, didn't you?
During that cutscene on the elevator, you're actually able to enter the inventory and aim your gun on the first frame. You have about, I think you have like about a 3 to 5 frame window to do stuff. I think it's got to do with like that particular camera angle.
You're so gullible. She's one of the operatives sent here by the agency.
I think there's a similar glitch in Resident Evil 3 actually.
That's a lie.
No, it's the truth. I discovered this when I did a background check on her. She specifically got close to John and became his girlfriend to get information about Umbrella.
That can't be. I know her. Ada wouldn't do something like that.
If you don't want to believe it, I don't really care. You're about to die anyway.
There is a dodge you can do for Mr. X there, but I hadn't really practiced it, so I decided to just take a punch from his left hand. His left hand does 30 damage. So we push that box 4 times, then we push it again until it hits all the way to the wall there. And then what I do is 1, 2, 3, pay attention to the bottom of the box. When the bottom of the box makes that shape right there, you can keep pushing it until the Z fighting on the front side of the box stops happening. Well, until most of it stops happening, but basically it's exactly as you see. And then you can just nudge it a few frames and it'll work correctly. And then when you do that, what you can do is you can squeeze in between the box and the guardrail and start pushing, and then the box will zip a little bit. We don't even have to push that all the way onto the wall. You just climb up, and the deed is done. It's pretty much just going to be cutscenes up to this point, trying not to run into walls.
Run!
Ada! Ada!
Leon, please, escape.
No. We're a team. I can't just leave you behind.
I'm just a woman who fell in love with you. Nothing more.
Ada. No.
Ada!
The self-destruct sequence has been activated. Repeat, the self-destruct sequence has been activated. This sequence may not be aborted. All employees proceed to the emergency car at the bottom platform.
I will always remember you. Goodbye, Ada.
Capcom sure does have an affinity for cutscenes like this, though. I gotta hand it to them.
Leon, you made it.
Claire? Is that you? Where are you?
I can see you on the monitor. But never mind that right now. Leon, you have to go back and get Sherry for me. I left her in the security office. Please, you must save her.
Wait a second! What are you gonna do? Where are you going?
I still have a few loose ends to take care of. I'm counting on you.
Hello? Claire, are you there? Claire! The security office?
But yeah, how many other Capcom games were there that had the main character screaming really loud? We got Leon in Resident Evil 2 with the Ada scream. We got Zero in Mega Man X4 with the "What am I fighting for?" And then there's Dante in Devil May Cry 1 with "I could have been the one to fill your dark soul with light." Fuck, I love old school Capcom. Those are like the golden days of video games for me.
Sherry? I've come to get you out of here. Claire is waiting for you. Just rest here for now. Claire should be back soon.
There's not too terribly much throughout the rest of the run, but all the significant time saves were pretty much in not getting grabbed by zombies. It took about maybe 3 days of practice with the shotgun route in order to actually get a solid enough run. Solid enough for it to be world record, I guess. Kappa. So with this countdown happening, my main goal at this point is to just not run into any walls. That should have been my goal throughout the entire run. I imagine I could have saved an easy 15 seconds off of stuff like that the whole time. That's actually, what, oh geez, -1 second right there. But yeah, that's kind of how it works. But we want to have the Magnum equipped here. We can't use the backup strategy, like the literal walking backwards strategy against Mr. X here because Leon's hitbox is too big. So instead, we're just going to use the old strat. 1, 2, hold up left. 2.
Here, use this.
Fortunately, that
Is that you? Ada!
back pedal there was just enough to Actually, I did need that. I did need that first aid spray, it turns out. It's kind of difficult to really accurately describe the AI that goes into the Tyrant's fight. But if you're at exactly the wrong range, then the cutscene that plays whenever you aim the rocket launcher at the Tyrant and fire will not play. I do a much better job of describing how that works in my Leon B no damage run. Which, by the way, if you haven't seen that yet, I would recommend watching that. For sure. 100%. So we're gonna hug the inside wall, squeeze between these two zombies, and hit that switch right there. Because we're already angled towards the left, that means we're going to turn left, and we're going to run in front of that zombie there, hug the wall a little more so that we clear that final zombie going towards the door. And because Leon has nothing but hit scan weapons, we're pretty much set up for the rest of the game to just stand still and spam fire at the boss.
Sherry's unconscious.
I have the antidote. If I give it to her.
Claire, what's happening?
Not now. Come on, Cherry, wake up. Wake up. Please wake up. Claire? Where am I?
It worked!
Oh, Sherry. You're gonna be okay. Thanks, Claire.
It's over.
No. I have to find my brother.
You're right. This is just the beginning. Goodbye, Ada. What was that?
Warning. Biohazardous outbreak imminent.
You always have to wait for the door to open all the way before you can actually go through it.
This train will detonate. Repeat, this train will detonate.
So any of those automatically sliding doors,
What's wrong?
I just kind of use them as an opportunity to angle myself up for the next turns. But here it is, the final boss. I wait until right before the boss comes down to equip the rocket launcher because you do actually run a little slower with the rocket launcher, so just kind of wanted to save them frames, that's all. Oops. Because we ran the shotgun route, we actually didn't really have to worry about collecting any extra magnum rounds. I didn't kill the boss here fast enough. If I managed to kill him before he retracted his tentacles back, then I actually would have saved even more time. But otherwise, best thing to do is just stand there, keep firing. I could have quick shot the boss, and maybe it would have saved me a little more time. But I'm too much of a wuss to use quick shot.
Warning, warning. The self-destruct system has been activated. Each train compartment will detonate sequentially. Repeat, each train compartment will detonate sequentially.
Claire! Stop the train!
I can't. The door to the control room is locked.
Claire? What is this? Stay back.
This is not good. Leon, where are you?
Wonderful.
Sherry? What are you doing?
We have to stop the train, right? I can do it.
But come and get me. I'm right here.
Favorite horror movie line, by the way. Come and get me, I'm right here.
Which one's the right switch? Maybe this one?
Sherry!
Leon! Ah!
Can't hold on.
Push the switch over there!
Got it!
Finally, the exit.
Are you all right?
I'm okay.
Where's Claire? Claire? Claire!
Right here.
Claire!
I guess we all made it. They just won't quit. Come on, we have to get out of here. Run! So, it's finally over. Sherry, you look terrible.
No worse than you, Claire.
Come on, time to leave.
Now? What's wrong? Is something following us?
We have to go. We don't have any time to waste.
Go? Where?
Hey, it's up to us to take out Umbrella.
So that was Resident Evil 2 Leon B on PSP in 1 hour, 9 minutes, and 50 seconds. If you guys like what you see, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, please check out my Twitch channel at twitch.tv/CarcinogenSDA. If you feel like monetarily supporting my speedrunning endeavors, you can do so by subscribing at twitch.tv. Normally subscriptions on Twitch TV are $5, but there is currently a promotion on twitch.tv throughout the month of September and October 2017. Subs are half off. But above all, be sure to check out my other YouTube videos. I have a lot of speedrun and no damage videos of various Resident Evil games and challenge runs of other survival horror games on my channel. Also, this was recorded in front of a live studio audience at twitch.tv/CarcinogenSDA. Say hi, YouTube. Smash that motherfucking like button, etc., etc. But here it is. S rank. 109.50. Thank you all for watching, and see you all next commentary.